this is not going to be screaming your name at all. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are getting into the new Pat McGRATH Eye Ecstasy mini eyeshadow palettes. They are so adorable. I only picked up one of them, but I got this at Sephora along with a bunch of other stuff. But this is what this palette looks like, and we're going to be getting into all the nitty-gritty stuff about this palette today. So first off, there are two different eyeshadow palette variations. This one is the Subversive Eye Ecstasy mini eyeshadow palette, which is the colorful version, and then there's another one that's the Sublime edition, which is more neutral, and they're both $28 each. And there's 5 shades in each palette. And then if you guys remember, they did come out with a different Eye Ecstasy palette a while back ago, and I did do a video on that, which I'll have linked in the cards for you guys. But that is what this palette is right here. And upon first impressions, I definitely like the packaging for this one a lot more. This Eye Ecstasy set kit came with the eyeshadow palette. There was a little, what was this called? Angel Dust Crystalline Prismatic Pigment. And then a mini mascara came in all of this. But this one just comes with the eyeshadow palette, but I don't really like the packaging all that much. It does have the little Pat McGRATH stuff on it, but it's just very flimsy, and I feel like after a while of opening this is gonna start to break off this plasticky top layer, and then it clicks on. But with this palette, it's more cardboard, way more sturdy, and it has a nice mirror in here, and it just feels more secure, and it's a little bit easier to grab for this and open it because it's magnetic. And this one I've been having some struggles opening. And then the next thing that I want to do is compare the eyeshadow sizes. So this is a full-size Pat McGRATH eyeshadow palette. This is the Mothership, what are you again? The pink one, I don't remember what it is. And then, let me just close this so you know how big this is. It's really cold on the back side, got like a gold bar on it. So regular Pat McGRATH, this is the first Eye Ecstasy palette. And then this is the new Eye Ecstasy palette. A lot smaller, and this one is like $150, so I don't really blame it. And then comparing the actual eyeshadow sizes, there is a huge size difference between these two. It is a lot smaller, but compared to the original Eye Ecstasy palette, they are pretty much the same size that I can see. These are just a little bit more spaced out. I do still prefer this layout of the colors. I just feel like it's a lot more easier. I don't know, like this feels like Pat McGRATH. This does not feel like Pat McGRATH. And then another thing I wanted to show you guys is the new Eye Ecstasy palette next to an Anastasia palette, so you guys can get an idea of the actual size of this palette. Now getting into the outdoor arm swatches, these are so gorgeous when you swatch them. They all are shimmers. The brown and the kind of reddish copper shade are more like a, what is that called? Like a satiny shimmer. And then the others are very, very glittery. The blue, the yellow, and the purple especially has a lot of multi-dimensional colors to them. Now, in my original Eye Ecstasy video, I did say that I wish that Pat McGRATH would do this more, where they came out with more palettes like this. But even though my wish was granted, I don't really like the packaging for this. I don't really find myself reaching for it. And if I am reaching for it, I'm probably going to be adding a pop of the shimmers with another palette, or even another Pat McGRATH palette, because honestly, I do reach for the shimmers more than I do the mattes. So, I mean, if I'm going for a Pat McGRATH day, I'd probably reach for this and alongside with a different palette. But I am going to be using these all on my eyes today so that you guys can see what they look like. And I am going to be using the original Eye Ecstasy palette in conjunction with this one, so you guys get a better idea of everything. And then I'm just gonna name these by their colors and not by their actual names. If you want to know their actual names, it's right here. I don't really know how to pronounce most of those, so I'm not going to. And we're going to prime my eyes with the Anastasia eyeshadow primer. All right, time to zoom in a bit. Oh, I need my chair a little bit lower. So I'm gonna have to start off with the purple shade. I just need to see what this looks like on my eyeballs, because swatched out it looked absolutely stunning, and it is no exception. It is so pretty. Wow, that is a pretty purple shade. And now I'm just gonna take this kind of brownish shade from the original Eye Ecstasy palette, and I'm just gonna take just a teeny bit and use it kind of as a matte transition shade. And then I'm gonna take this kind of darker plum shade just with a flat eyeshadow brush, and that palette doesn't have a mirror. Ooh! And I'm gonna put this on the outer V, and then I'll blend it out in a little bit. And then now taking the blue, I want to meet that up with the purple, and then I might blend this one out as well. So with the blue, I'm going to take it on a smaller brush and then just blowing it all up. And then I think I want to take it above the purple too. I really like how that looks. And then I'm just going to wipe that same brush off and take that shimmering plum shade and just help that one blend out a little bit better. Shimmers are always so much easier to blend out to me. I don't know why. They just have, because they're shimmery, they just look so much more blended right away. And then I'm gonna take the plum shade again and go under my lash line and just connecting the two. And then I'm going to take the yellow and put it underneath and around my inner corner. These are so pretty. And I'm not using any of these wet. It's just how pretty they are. And then finally, I'm going to take the shimmering kind of copper shade and I'm going to put it underneath and blend the plum and the yellow together. All right, and I think that's pretty much it for the eye look today. I'm gonna throw on some mascara and then I'll share with you guys my final thoughts, and I am gonna use the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes mascara. All right, so for final thoughts, I think you guys kind of already know where I'm headed with this. I wouldn't really suggest everyone to go out and buy it. If you are a Pat McGrath fan, if you love shimmer eyeshadows, if you don't have a lot of eyeshadows, or if you've never tried Pat McGrath before and you want to try some out, I definitely would suggest this. But if you have a ton of eyeshadow palettes, if you don't really wear a lot of like colors, then this is not going to be screaming your name at all. But I do think that if you are interested in this, then these are really good quality shimmer eyeshadows. They go on perfectly with your finger, with a brush, wet them, dry them. Like, you can literally pretty much do whatever. Like I said, if you want to try out some of Pat McGrath's shimmer eyeshadows, they definitely are the better formula in my opinion. But going back to the original Eye Ecstasy little kit thing, I definitely think this is more suitable for kind of everybody. They're just kind of more neutral eyeshadows. So if you've got this one and you want to add a little pizzazz to it, I definitely think that these two could go pretty good hand in hand with some browns and then like some pops of colors in there. So I'm a little meh on it, depending on your preferences. I definitely probably am going to use this, though I'm not the biggest fan of this packaging. I can't really get it open a lot of the times. I feel like I'm gonna break it. It's not really sturdy. It's a bit high priced for this little plastic container that it's in. So it's like $28 for 5 eyeshadows. I don't really know how I feel about that. I don't know. The packaging just pisses me off more and more and more. That is pretty much it for my review on the mini Eye Ecstasy palette. If you want to watch more videos, I'll have the original Pat McGRATH Eye Ecstasy palette video right over here. And then if you want a video suggested to you by YouTube, it'll be right over here. And then my face will be right here where you can click on it and subscribe to my channel.